Have you ever had a great conversation with a potential client and they seemed interested? The discussion was really positive and they actually asked you for a proposal. But then after you sent the proposal, things slowed down or the deal even disappeared. This happens quite a lot to consultants actually, and often the problem isn't the price, it's the proposal itself. In this video, I want to walk you through the 5 different mistakes that I often see made in proposals by consultants that actually quietly reduce the chances of them winning the lead. So if you want to improve your next proposal and turn that lead into a client, make sure to watch the rest of this video. So let's dive in. The very first mistake that I see is the focus on you, not the client, but you. And how this shows in a proposal is that many proposals start with a section about us, about the team, about the background of the company, about the history, about the services and all the clients that they helped. But honestly, your client's first question actually is, do you understand me? I see proposals where up to half of the entire proposal is actually about us, but your client simply does not care. Fact of the matter is that they probably already know a bit about you. You might have had a call before you sent a proposal. They've seen your website, they've seen your social media, they have done some research on you, which is why they booked the call and want to see your proposal in the first place. This means that you are already interesting enough for them to actually want to reach out to you. Now, of course, it does not mean that you cannot share anything about what your company does or the clients that you help, but don't make this mistake of starting with yourself. The second mistake that I often see being made in proposals by consultants is that they're jumping straight to their services. So right after the about section, which should not be in the beginning, they jump straight to what their services are all about. They often jump into the type of workshops, the type of deliverables, timelines, and activities. But what's actually missing is the bridge between your client's situation, your client's problem, and why this approach that you have for them is actually the right way forward. Actually, what you want to do is to help your client answer this question. Why is this relevant for me? And how is it relevant for me? So instead of jumping straight to the services that you provide, try to do this. Connect the current situation of your client and their desired outcome by bridging this gap with your solution. Not only do consultants jump straight into their solutions, also the way that you're presenting your solutions can make a huge difference. What you don't want to do is to make your proposal look like a brochure of services rather than a proposal for this specific client, which is mistake number 3. What I mean by that is that it looks more like a menu of services, like a menu in the restaurant where they can pick and choose different services from you. But what you actually want to show in this proposal is how your services are specifically solving your client's problem. Customizing your services to your client does not mean that you have to reinvent your services for each and every client, but the proposal should clearly show how your approach is applying to their situation. If they just wanted to know more about your services, they might as well just go to your website. But in this proposal, they want to see how you solve a challenge that they are dealing with. Now, when you are presenting your services, don't make this mistake number 4, which is that you're not giving a clear point of view. When a proposal only presents the options without a recommendation, then you don't position yourself as an expert or a strategic partner, but you are just positioning yourself as a vendor. Clients hire you because you're an expert at something, and they want to have your recommendation. They want to have your judgment. Just like when you go to the doctor's office, you don't want them to just come up with generic solutions. You come there for their judgment and you want to know what they think about what you're dealing with. The same goes for you as an expert. So if a client comes to you, make sure that you are giving a clear point of view. How you can do this? Throughout your proposal, you can say things like, my recommendation would be this, or in your situation, XYZ is best, or given your situation and your challenge, this is what I recommend. That way you show that you really thought about their challenge and that you are actually thinking of the right and best solutions for them. Now that you have positioned yourself as an expert and you've actually linked your services to your client's challenge and their situation, don't make this mistake of not guiding the decision. What I mean by that is that all the sales activities that you do basically are meant to do one thing, and that is to help your client make a decision on whether or not to work with you and whether or not to move forward. So most consultants, they just send a proposal which is very generic, all about them, and then they wait. But a proposal should actually guide your client towards making that decision. In the proposal, you should outline what happens next if they say yes. how they can actually confirm to work with you, how to move forward, and what the timeline is. So make sure that your proposal actually leaves your client with a decision. Now, if you want your proposal to convert better, make sure that you don't make these 5 mistakes. And remember that the goal is not to just write up a document. You actually want to show your customer that you understand them and that you have the right solution for them. And then don't forget to guide them to make a decision. If you want to receive more tips and insights on how to turn your leads into clients for your consultancy or agency business, then make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!